What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to continue on looking at the different players and ranking them from the XFL Draft. If it's your first time here, hey, I'm glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching more videos, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. And remember to leave those comments and let me know what you think. And if I really like your comment, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feature your comment in a video, so be looking out for those as well. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and let's get into our content for today. So today we're going to continue on looking at and rating all of the different players that were drafted. So today we're going to look at the top running backs. So what I did was I took the 10 running backs that were taken first, and then I went through and I kind of analyzed them by all of the, all the different things that they have out there, whether it be, looking at their highlights, where they've played football, what they've been doing over the past few years, and kind of do an analysis and then come up with my top 10. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start from number 10. We're going to work our way to number 1. All right, let's get into it. All right, at number 10, I've got Tim Cook. Now, Tim Cook was a guy who was briefly with the Arizona Hotshots. He's a guy out of Oregon State. He is 25 years old. He's 6 foot tall. He's about 243, and he was picked by the New York Guardians. He was picked in the 4th round, and he was the 30th pick. So, what do I think about this pick? It's an interesting pick. He's a guy that that played some time with the Arizona Hotshots. He's just a bigger back, a little bit more of a bruiser. The guy runs a 4.6, so weighing 240 pounds and running a 4.6. That's pretty decent. The guy's got some good speed. Not really that breakaway speed that you want to see, but at Oregon State, he was one of those guys that just was kind of a reliable back for them. So we'll see what New York decides to do with him. It's really interesting because he was the first pick that New York had. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see kind of what they decide to do with him. I think that he's definitely a guy that has potential, and I think he's definitely going to be that kind of big bruiser that they're kind of looking for. Kind of reminds you of back when, the Giants were in their heyday of their offense and Jacobs just running over people. I think you might see some of that out of Tim Cook there. So definitely a guy to keep your eye on. Definitely somebody who it looks like that New York really likes. And he's our number 10 running back. Now, moving on to number 9. Looking here at number 9, we've got Larry Rose III. And Larry Rose is a guy who came from New Mexico State. He runs a 4.46 40. He's 24 years old. He's 5'11". It seems like you got to be like 5'11" to play in this league at running back. I don't know. It just seems like all the guys seem to be around that height. He's 195 pounds, so he's a little bit smaller than most of the other guys. And pretty much he's one of those guys that has been signed and then released throughout his whole career. Now, he was picked in the 5th round. He was the 40th pick, and he was picked by L.A. He's the second back that LA picks, and so I'm thinking that he's one of those guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think they might be looking for him as like a 3rd down back, probably somebody that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He had a lot of catches when he was in college. Now, he played for a short while, played with the Hotshots as well. It's kind of interesting. You've got 3 backs on this list in the top 10 picked running backs that are from the Hotshots, which, kind of shows you that, the Hotshots had a good running backfield. And if you watched, the AAF, that they ran the ball all right. And they were probably one of the better running teams in the league with that. But yeah, Larry Rose is definitely going to be a guy that you're probably going to see running the 3rd down package in that LA Wildcats offense. And, he's going to be one of those interesting guys to look at because he's kind of one of those guys that since he got out of college, he's had shots but always been cut. So we've never really seen him in any game experience. So we'll see if he gets a shot on the field here in the XFL. Now, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 was Kyle Hicks. He was picked in the 4th round. He was the 31st pick by Houston. He's hailing out of TCU, and he ran a 4.63. He's 24 years old. He's 5'10", 200 pounds. Again, a little bit on the lighter side of the other guys. And this guy is shifty. He's got good hands. He can catch well out of the backfield. And I think that he's just a great fit for Houston. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be able to fit really well in that run and shoot offense, whether it be for those quick runs, get him out in open space, hit him the ball in the open space, and the guy can use his shiftiness to get first downs and to get up the field. He's definitely not one of those guys that I would say has the breakaway speed that you're kind of looking for. For kind of a guy that can just be gone, but he definitely has the spurt and the speed and that shiftiness to definitely get the ball, at least get the first down and get the ball moving down the field. And like I said, he's got some really good hands to where I think that Houston's definitely going to use him kind of in that pass game, especially in that run and shoot offense. All right, let's move to number 7. Now, number 7's probably kind of one of the guys that I'm least excited about, and again, it just goes to show you why I just have no clue about the Tampa Bay Vipers. So the Tampa Bay Vipers in the 3rd round with the 21st pick, they took Devon Smith out of Michigan, and he's probably got the slowest 40 of all these guys. He's running a 4.75, and he's 25 years old. He's 5'11", and he's 225 pounds. He's one of the bigger backs on here. And listen, he does everything pretty much well. He can block. He can run the ball. Now, granted, he's not fast. He will get caught, and probably he'll get about 20 yards down the field, and then he gets caught. And the thing is, he's a bruiser, so he might be able to, truck a guy for 15 yards and, get you more yards than that. But pretty much, he is going to be bruising. Now, when he played in the AAF, he averaged about 4.6 yards a carry, somewhere around there. And he played for Orlando. So Orlando was throwing the ball around a lot, and I think that that's what Tampa Bay is going to want to do, and so I think that that's why they got him. I think they got him in there to where he can bruise and run, and get the yards. He's going to be reliable. He's going to be a good all-around back for him. He can catch the ball if need be, but he can stay in there and block, and I think that that's what Tampa Bay's looking to do with him. So I think that he's actually a really good fit for Tampa Bay. I'm just not high on him just because what he is, and his ceiling isn't very high. But he is going to be reliable, and you know what you're getting right out of the gate with him. Let's go ahead and let's move on to our number 6 ranked running back. It's Jhurell Pressley. He was picked by DC. He was picked in the 3rd round. He was picked 17th. And he's hailing out of New Mexico. He has probably the fastest 40 out of any of the other guys. He ran a 4.38 40, which is just flying. This guy has some speed. Now, he's 27 years old. Kind of one of the older guys on this list, and he's 5'11". He weighs 198 pounds. Like I said, he's a little bit on the lighter side, and he played for the Hotshots. And I will tell you, he played well for the Hotshots. He was probably one of the brighter spots on the Hotshots. Now, one of the things is the Hotshots rotated their running backs if you watch them play, and so there were at times that it kind of, with him kind of sharing the load with the other guys, I don't know if he really got the opportunity to be that number 1 back to where we could actually see him, in that featured role. It always, felt like he, just as, one of the guys was getting going, they'd bring in another guy and that way. But he ran really well for the league, averaging over 4 yards a carry. I think that he was a really good asset to that team. And I think that he's going to work out well for DC. I think that he's going to fit right into that scheme of what DC's wanting to do. I think with that, he's going to be a good complement to that deep threat throwing with Cardale Jones. And so I think that overall they've got a really good guy and a really good speedster in Jhurell Pressley. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on, and we are now into our top 5. We're looking at our top 5 running backs that were taken in the XFL initial draft, and our 5th guy is Kenneth Farrow. And he was taken in the 2nd round. He was taken in the 10th pick, and he was picked by Seattle. And he hails out of Houston, played for the Cougars. He runs a 4.59 40. He's 26 years old, 5'11", 216 pounds, and he was a bruiser for the San Antonio Commanders. He played in the AAF for the Commanders, and he was really part of that 1-2 punch that they had there, and he was the guy that just pounded the ball for him. He averaged over 4 yards a carry. The man just he just ran the ball really well, really solid, really well. He never really broke things open in that. He was just solid running. And I will say that if you get him behind a little bit better line, and Seattle might have a better line, I'm almost started to look at Seattle as like the reincarnation of the San Antonio Commanders, just by the way that they're all set up, and that. But I think he's going to be the bruiser for him. He's going to take the load of the running game, especially when it gets towards later on in the game, and they've got a lead and they're just wearing down the defense. They're going to hand the ball to him a lot, so he's going to get a lot of carries, and so it's good to see him back running the ball because he ran the ball well in the AAF. Now we're going to move on to our number 4 pick. Our number 4 pick was Cameron Artis-Payne, and he was picked by Dallas. He was picked by Dallas in the 3rd round, number 20 pick, and he hails out of Auburn. He was a Tiger. He runs a 4.53 40. He's 29 years old, again, one of the oldest guys, and he's 5'11". He weighs 209 pounds, and he really is one of the guys that has probably the most experience out of all of these guys. He played 4 seasons with Carolina. He was one of Carolina's backs that they rotated in there for a couple of years, couple of seasons. He's just a really good all-around back, and I think he's a really good pickup for Dallas. I think he's going to sit really well in that scheme that Bob Stoops has set up. I think he fits that mold of that running back, a fast running back, but a guy that can put his shoulder pads down if he needs to. Understands. Auburn, back when he was there at Auburn, they kind of ran more of an open offense. And so I feel like he'll move into Dallas fairly well, and I think from his stint in Carolina and the way that Carolina used him, I think he'll set him up well with this. He is one of 3 guys in our top 5 ranking running backs that have actually played in the NFL and were not part of the AAF. We have 4 guys total that weren't a part of the AAF, and he is he's one of them. And so he's one that I'm actually going to keep my eye on, because I think that because of being on that Dallas team and just how potent that Dallas team is, I think that he's going to be able to take advantage of that, and I think that he's really going to shine in this league. All right, let's move to our top 3 now, and my 3rd ranked guy, he was picked in the 1st round. He was the 7th pick overall. Picked by Seattle was Trey Williams. He's out of Texas A&M. He runs a 4.49 40. He's 26 years old. He's one of the shortest guys out there. He's 5'8". Hey, nothing against short guys. You got one right here. And he's 194 pounds. This guy is going to be a weapon. If you remember him, he was the other back in San Antonio. So we already talked about Farrow. Now we're going to talk about Williams. They were the 1-2 punch there in San Antonio. And like I said, Seattle is almost becoming the reincarnation of the San Antonio Commanders. I just think they're going to be a better version of them and a little bit more consistent version of them. He averaged over 5 yards a carry when he got the ball. The thing is that they just kind of traded blows back and forth. It was almost like thunder and lightning. Farrow would bring the pound and the thunder, and then just when you got used to the thunder pounding down on you, then you would have the lightning come, and that's when Williams would strike. And I think that that's just how they're going to look at it, and I think that they're probably going to open things up even more and use him as a weapon coming out of the backfield. You might even see see him running some patterns. I think this guy can be electrifying, and I think that he will be in the XFL. I think the XFL, they're going to open things up and really use him to the potential that he has, because I don't think that San Antonio really used him like they probably should have, or could have. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Could have used him. And so I really like that pick with Trey Williams. Now we're going to move into the number 2 ranked guy that I have, and that's Elijah Wood. He is a guy that he was picked in the first round, 8th pick by LA, and he is out of North Carolina. He runs a 4.58 40. He's 23 years old. He's 5'11". He's 229 pounds. This guy is strong. He's got a good burst. Not really breakaway speed, but he's going to get away from some guys. And he's out of North Carolina. If you watched him play in North Carolina, you know he's got talent, and he's another one of our guys that has only been in the NFL. He did not play in the AAF, and this is the type of guy to where he can star in this league. And like I talked about, Larry Rose being a good complement there for Cardale Jones. Elijah Wood is going to be their go-to guy. He is going to be the guy to run the ball. He's going to be on their first down, second down, some third downs. They'll probably bring in Larry Rose on some third down stuff too. But Elijah Wood is going to be their back. He is a strong running back, good vision. He is a guy, like I said, he's got a really good burst. I think he's going to burst through the hole, and I think that he's going to eat up some yards in this league. I think, like I said, he's going to be a very good complement to Cardale Jones. As Cardale Jones is throwing the ball down the field, I think that he's going to be a good complement to him running the ball, because they're going to have to worry about him running the ball, and then Cardale's going to be able to throw the ball deep. They're going to be worried about Cardale throwing the ball deep with his big arm, and I think that that's going to translate to Elijah Wood getting some really good yards. And that brings me to the final guy. We're to our number 1 ranked running back. He was taken by St. Louis Battlehawks. He was the 6th overall pick from Texas A&M. He runs a 4.54 40. He's 29 years old. He's 5'10", 220 pounds, and it's Chistine Michael. Now, this man is going to be a workhorse. I think that even in a 10-game season, he's going to have over 1,000 yards. Just the way that I look at it, I think that with him, and I think with the way that St. Louis has him and Jordan Ta'amau, I think that those two are going to work really well together, and I think that you're going to see a lot of yards out of them. I think you're going to see a lot of yards on the ground. You might even see some RPO stuff that I think that Michael's going to take advantage of. This man's got good vision. He has power, but the thing that he has that I like him over Elijah Wood is that he has breakaway speed. So not only is he going to be able to have good vision, get through the holes, move through the holes. He can put his shoulder pads down. He's a strong running back. There's definitely that. But if he gets out in the open, he can be gone. And I think that that's going to bode really well for St. Louis, and especially those St. Louis fans. I think you guys are going to have fun with him and the quarterback. Granted, he's a little bit older than the other guys. He's 29 years old, but I think he still has some years left in him, especially because he's been on practice squads, and he hasn't been, taking a full slate of NFL hits, to where I think that he's got a lot left in the tank, and I think that he's going to be one of those guys we're going to be talking about at the end of the season as possible, quote-unquote MVP type of guys, but I definitely look to see him getting around 1,000 yards this season. But then again, guys, hey, that's just my thoughts. Those are my top 10. Let's go ahead and let's review them real quick. I got Tim Cook at number 10, Larry Rose III at 9, Kyle Hicks at number 8, Devon Smith at number 7, Jhurell Pressley at number 6, Kenneth Farrow at number 5, Cameron Artis-Payne at number 4, number 3, I got Trey Williams, number 2, Elijah Wood, and rounding it out, the guy I'm taking as my ranked number 1 guy is Chistine Michael. So guys, again, those are my picks. That's how I've got them ranked. The question is, what do you think? Do you like my picks? Do you like how I ranked the guys, or do you think that I'm just crazy and that I ranked them wrong? Really, it's all up to you. I'd love to hear what your guys' rankings are, what you're thinking. Down in the comment sections, let me know how you rank all the guys, who you think is going to be a standout guy, who's going to take the league by storm. Any of these guys that you think that are going to be kind of MVP, candidates. Please let me down in the comment sections. I love to hear from you guys. All right, well, I know that you're busy, and I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.